They told us frozen food was the future, convenient, affordable, even healthy. For decades we believed it, piling our freezers with meals designed to make life easier. No chopping, no cooking, just heat and eat. But what if this so-called convenience is slowly damaging your heart, without you ever realizing it? Today, millions of older adults are unknowingly eating frozen foods that silently harm their health. Not junk food, not takeout, but what's lurking just behind the frosty doors of the freezer aisle. A danger that disguises itself as a quick dinner or a healthy smoothie, but is actually raising blood pressure, hardening arteries, and inflaming the body in ways that lead directly to heart failure, stroke, and even early death. And here's the scariest part. Most people over 60 have no idea they're doing it. They feel tired, foggy, weak in the legs. They experience swelling in the ankles. Their heartbeat feels off. But they chalk it up to age, never suspecting that it's frozen food that's fueling the decline. In this video, we'll expose the 4 worst frozen foods seniors should avoid at all costs, and introduce the 4 frozen foods you should actually be eating daily to support heart health and circulation into your 70s and 80s. Each item is ranked, from the mildly harmful to the shockingly dangerous, and from mildly beneficial to powerfully healing. So stick around, because the worst frozen food on this list increases stroke risk by up to 78% in older adults, and almost no one talks about it. Before we start, drop a comment below. How old are you? And when's your next birthday? We're reading every response, and your story matters more than you know. Alright, let's begin with the number 4 frozen food your heart has been begging you to stop eating. Number 4. Frozen breaded fish fillets. Fish sounds healthy, right? And in many cases it is. But breaded, fried, frozen fish fillets are a wolf in sheep's clothing. The breading is made from refined white flour, completely stripped of fiber and nutrients. Typically fried in hydrogenated oils before freezing, meaning they're high in trans fats, which increase the risk of heart disease by 23%. Then comes the sodium, over 500 milligrams per serving, and most people eat 2 servings in one sitting. Excess sodium increases blood pressure and causes fluid retention, both of which put serious strain on the aging heart. Perhaps the most overlooked danger? Advanced glycation end products, or AGEs. These toxic compounds are created when food is fried and reheated. AGEs damage blood vessels and accelerate aging. One study found that people over 65 with high age levels had double the risk of developing atrial fibrillation. The fish itself is often soaked in phosphate preservatives to retain texture, and phosphate additives disrupt calcium balance and can lead to arterial stiffness. If your heart flutters or your legs swell after a breaded fish dinner, it's not your imagination. Better choice. Skip the breading. Choose wild-caught salmon, cod, or sardines, frozen plain. Bake or steam with olive oil, garlic, and lemon. That combo lowers inflammation and protects blood vessels, especially when eaten 2 to 3 times per week. Swap breaded fillets for plain whole fish options. Next, number 3. Number 3, frozen pizzas. They're cheap. They're easy. They feel comforting. But for people over 60, frozen pizza is one of the most dangerous hidden threats to cardiovascular health. A typical frozen pizza contains over 1,200 milligrams of sodium, sometimes closer to 1,500. As we age, the kidneys lose filtering efficiency, meaning salt lingers in the bloodstream longer. The result? Swollen limbs, increased blood volume, and higher blood pressure. A study found older adults with high sodium intake had a 72% increased risk of developing left ventricular hypertrophy. The crust is made with refined bleached white flour, which causes sharp blood sugar spikes. Over time, glucose spikes contribute to plaque buildup and hardened arteries. And what about the cheese? Often a processed blend containing vegetable oils, emulsifiers, and phosphates. Preserved meats, loaded with nitrates and nitrites, which convert to nitrosamines in the body. These compounds fuel oxidative stress in both the heart and the brain, and are linked to cognitive decline and high blood pressure. If you've ever felt dizzy, sluggish, or bloated after a frozen pizza, it's not just the carbs, it's your heart reacting to a toxic mix. Heart healthy swap. Use a whole grain tortilla or pita, top with homemade tomato sauce, real mozzarella, and vegetables. Add heart-smart fats like olives or walnuts. It's faster than delivery, and your arteries will thank you. Coming up at number 2, Number 2. Frozen fruit smoothie packs. They're marketed as healthy, antioxidant-rich, and immune-boosting. But for older adults, most frozen smoothie packs can be a blood sugar disaster. These packs often combine high glycemic fruits like pineapple, banana, mango, and papaya. And without fiber or fat, these fruits spike blood glucose rapidly. As we age, insulin sensitivity decreases. Post-meal glucose levels remain elevated for longer. A 2020 study found seniors with elevated post-meal glucose had a 48% higher risk of cardiovascular events, even if they weren't diabetic. Many nutrients degrade during long-term storage. Vitamin C and polyphenols decline over time, so the sugar remains, the protective compounds fade away. To make things worse, packs are often mixed with fruit juice or sweetened bases, doubling the sugar content. You might feel good for 15-20 minutes. Then an energy crash, dizziness, fatigue, or brain fog sets in. That's the blood sugar roller coaster. What to do instead? Build your own smoothie. Frozen blueberries, blackberries, or cherries. Low glycemic and rich in antioxidants. Add spinach, a spoonful of flaxseed, and unsweetened protein powder. That's a smoothie that fights inflammation and fuels the heart. No sugary bases, no unwritten spikes, just steady energy. Choose low glycemic fruits and add fiber and protein. And now, the most deceptive frozen food. Number 1. Frozen microwavable breakfast sandwiches. They look harmless, small, convenient, fast. But they deliver a deadly trifecta. The average sandwich contains 800 and 1,300 milligrams of sodium. That's more than half the daily limit in one small meal. One review found older adults consuming over 1,500 milligrams of sodium per day had a 71% greater risk of left-sided heart failure. The sausage and bacon are often treated with nitrates and nitrites, which form nitrosamines once digested. These chemicals inflame arteries, damage DNA, and restrict blood flow. The egg is often a liquid egg blend, reconstituted powder with thickeners and preservatives. Microwaving creates higher levels of AGEs, which increase arterial stiffness and inflammation. The biscuit or muffin is made with refined flour and industrial seed oils, unstable fats that oxidize and harm vessels. If you felt foggy, tired, or bloated after one of these sandwiches, it's not just aging. A smarter way. Cook 2 pasture-raised eggs, slice half an avocado, and put it on whole grain toast. Add a few blueberries and a handful of walnuts. It takes 5 minutes and protects your heart instead of hurting it. Summary. The 4 frozen foods seniors should avoid immediately. 1. Breaded frozen fish. Trans fats, phosphates, AGEs, poor quality protein. 2. Frozen pizza. Sodium bomb, nitrate meats, fake cheese, artery damage. 3. Smoothie packs. Sugar overload, hidden crashes, lost nutrients. 4. Breakfast sandwiches. Nitrates, sodium, refined carbs, inflammatory oils. But don't worry. It's not all bad news. Not all frozen foods are harmful. Make sure you're subscribed, hit the bell, and don't miss part 2 of this critical video series. Welcome back. In part 1, we exposed the hidden dangers. But now it's time for hope. In fact, the right frozen foods can do the exact opposite. Restore blood flow, lower inflammation, strengthen your arteries, and even reverse early signs of heart disease. That's not theory. It's backed by science. Today, we're revealing the 4 best frozen foods every senior should eat daily to rebuild circulation, protect your heart, and help you age stronger. Let's begin with a leafy green that's probably sitting in the back of your freezer right now. Number 4. Frozen spinach, the silent artery healer. When spinach is picked and frozen at its peak, it locks in nitrates which your body converts into nitric oxide. Nitric oxide relaxes blood vessels and helps blood flow more freely, reducing strain on the heart. A clinical nutrition study showed 1 daily serving of spinach lowered systolic blood pressure by 11 points in adults over 60 in just 7 days. Spinach is also rich in magnesium, potassium, and folate, nutrients seniors often lack. Toss it into soups, stews, omelets, or smoothies, or sauté with garlic and olive oil for an anti-inflammatory boost. It's washed, chopped, blanched. No mess, no waste. If your heart's been quietly struggling, frozen spinach might be the simplest way to help it breathe again. Next, frozen edamame. Number 3. Frozen edamame protein pressure control and artery protection in a pod. Edamame offers complete protein and isoflavones, compounds that support blood vessels and mimic estrogen's protective effects. A 2021 meta-analysis found soy-rich diets reduced systolic blood pressure by nearly 6 mmHg in adults over 60. Steam for 5 minutes. Sprinkle sea salt, or add to salads and soups. Number 2. Frozen mixed berries. Nature's vascular defender. Blueberries, blackberries, and raspberries are low sugar and packed with anthocyanins. Seniors who consumed berries daily saw LDL drop and arterial stiffness reduced, improvements that support blood flow. Toss into Greek yogurt, overnight oats, smoothies, or eat them straight. Frozen berries can be nutritionally superior to store fresh because they're frozen at peak ripeness. Together with edamame, they support circulation, reduce inflammation, and stabilize energy. Make berries and edamame freezer staples. And at number 1, an unexpected hero, unbreaded chicken wings. When prepared the right way, oven-baked or air-fried with herbs, plain wings deliver powerful benefits. Number 1. Frozen unbreaded chicken wings. After 60, your body loses muscle mass. High-quality protein helps preserve muscle, maintain balance, and keep your heart strong. A 2022 study found seniors with higher poultry protein had a 41% lower risk of cardiovascular events over 5 years. Wings include collagen from skin and bones, supporting joint health and arterial flexibility. They also provide vitamin B6, zinc, and selenium, nutrients for immune and cellular repair. Important: skip breaded or pre-sauced wings. Choose plain frozen wings only. Bake or air fry with anti-inflammatory spices like turmeric, garlic, or rosemary. They're satisfying, don't spike blood sugar, and support muscle retention. Let's recap the 4 best frozen foods seniors should eat every day. 1. Frozen spinach boosts nitric oxide. 2. Frozen edamame fights inflammation and preserves muscle. 3. Frozen berries reduces cholesterol and improves circulation. 4. Unbreaded chicken wings. Protein, collagen, heart protective nutrients. It's not the freezer, it's what you put in it. Now we want to hear from you. What's one frozen food you're excited to swap after watching this video? If this video gave you new insight, please tap like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next senior health video. Every claim we shared is backed by clinical studies. Find sources linked below. Don't miss part 2. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.